Good morning, everyone. I want to talk to you about something incredibly simple, yet profoundly impactful. It's a daily habit, something you can start today that can lead you to lasting happiness. And no, it's not some complex, life-changing routine or a massive life overhaul. It's one small, consistent thing you can do every single day that will truly shift your mindset, your mood, and your life. It all comes down to one powerful practice: choosing to focus on gratitude. Now, I know you've heard the word gratitude tossed around a lot, but today I want to break it down in a way that makes it actionable, practical, and life-changing. It's about the simple decision to notice the good every day. It doesn't matter how tough things get. There's always something to be thankful for. It could be something as small as a warm cup of coffee in the morning, a smile from a stranger, or the fact that you have a roof over your head. The key is consistency and being intentional about it. When you choose gratitude, you shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on what's going wrong, you train your mind to see what's going right. You shift from scarcity to abundance, from stress to calm, from overwhelm to control. The magic isn't in the big moments. It's in those tiny, everyday things. And when you start recognizing and appreciating them, your life begins to change. Over time, gratitude becomes a habit, a way of life, and in turn, it leads to lasting happiness. So let's dive into how you can implement this daily habit. Gratitude has the remarkable ability to shift how we see the world around us. It's not just about saying thank you or feeling appreciative. It's about actively training our brains to focus on the positive aspects of our lives, even during challenging times. When we make gratitude a daily practice, we stop getting stuck in the cycle of complaints and frustrations. Instead, we begin to notice the things that are going well. Imagine waking up in the morning with the habit of thinking about something you're grateful for. Maybe it's the feeling of the sun on your face, the warmth of your blanket, or even the fact that you had a peaceful night's sleep. These small moments, when highlighted with gratitude, can reshape the entire course of your day. Rather than starting with a to-do list that stresses you out, you start with a mindset that appreciates what is already here. Gratitude doesn't deny the tough moments in life, but it allows us to see them in a different light. When you're grateful, you don't ignore the challenges, but you learn to navigate them with a sense of hope. Instead of feeling bogged down by obstacles, gratitude reminds you that there are always positive things to hold on to. Things that provide support, encouragement, or simply a sense of calm. This shift can make all the difference in your ability to handle stress, find solutions, and stay positive in the face of adversity. In fact, focusing on gratitude literally changes the way our brains work. When we regularly focus on what we're thankful for, we train our brain to recognize and prioritize positive experiences. This shifts our neural pathways, allowing us to see more opportunities, feel more connected to others, and experience less anxiety and depression. Gratitude helps us break free from the tendency to fixate on problems, pulling our attention back to what's going right and giving us the strength to move forward. By practicing gratitude, we ultimately choose a perspective that sees abundance rather than lack, solutions instead of problems, and peace over stress. This isn't just a mindset, it's a powerful way of engaging with life that can radically transform how we experience each day. Too often, we're led to believe that happiness is something we'll find when we reach certain milestones, when we get the job we want, when we buy the house, when we take that dream vacation, or when everything in our lives seems perfect. But the truth is, these big moments, while exciting and fulfilling, don't actually guarantee lasting happiness. If anything, they often create an illusion of happiness that fades once the newness wears off. The problem with waiting for those big events to define our happiness is that they set us up for a kind of someday mindset. where we tell ourselves that we'll be happy once we reach the next goal or milestone. This can lead to a cycle of constantly chasing something just out of reach, never fully experiencing or appreciating the joy of the present moment. Real happiness is actually found in the smaller, everyday experiences that we often overlook. It's in the quiet moments, the simple pleasures, the connections with others, and the way we choose to approach the world. Happiness is in the conversations we have with loved ones, the cup of coffee we savor in the morning, the feeling of a walk outside on a crisp day, or the satisfaction of crossing off even a small item from our to-do list. These things may not seem monumental, but they carry with them a kind of fulfillment that lasts far longer than the fleeting rush of a big achievement. In fact, focusing on these smaller moments can create a deeper, more lasting sense of joy. When we recognize that happiness doesn't come from waiting for the next big thing, we start to find it in what's already around us. And this shift can be life-changing. By fully embracing the present, rather than constantly looking ahead, we open ourselves to a continuous stream of happiness, not just from the major milestones, but from the beauty of everyday life. When we make happiness about the journey, not the destination, we free ourselves from the pressure of always needing more. This allows us to enjoy life in its fullest form, appreciating the richness that comes from the small things we experience day in and day out. Instead of feeling like happiness is something that happens to us at certain points in time, we begin to realize that it's something we can cultivate in every moment, regardless of what's happening around us. The power of gratitude, or any positive habit for that matter, isn't found in occasional bursts of enthusiasm or in big, sporadic efforts. It's in the consistency with which we practice it. When it comes to happiness and well-being, the most significant results come from small, daily actions. The key isn't to do something remarkable once in a while. It's to commit to doing something simple every single day, no matter how small it may seem. Imagine starting each day with just a few minutes of focusing on what you're grateful for. At first, it might feel insignificant, even like you're not making much of an impact. But over time, those small moments add up. Consistently taking the time to notice the positives in your life, even on days that don't feel special, starts to create a shift in your mindset. It becomes a habit, one that your brain begins to rely on as a tool for balance and perspective. Consistency is what trains your mind to naturally turn towards gratitude, even on difficult days. At first, it may take effort to stop focusing on the stress or challenges you're facing, but over time, the more you intentionally choose to acknowledge the good in your life, the more your brain starts to seek it out automatically. Just like any other skill, the more you practice, the easier it gets. What's important to understand is that consistency isn't about perfection. It's about showing up for yourself day after day, even if some days feel harder than others. You might miss a day or feel like you didn't fully embrace gratitude, and that's okay. The magic happens when you continue. The cumulative effect of a consistent practice, even if imperfect, is far more powerful than any single burst of effort. It's the daily choice to be aware, to reflect, to appreciate, and to reframe that has a lasting impact on your overall mindset and happiness. Being consistent doesn't mean everything will always feel easy or joyful. There will be days where practicing gratitude feels like a challenge, but it's during those moments that consistency is the most crucial. It's when gratitude becomes a lifeline that helps you navigate through the tough stuff. By making it a regular part of your routine, you create a foundation of positivity that can sustain you regardless of what life throws your way. The longer you stick with it, the more you'll see that happiness isn't something reserved for only the big moments. It's in the quiet, daily commitment to finding the good and to making gratitude a habit that becomes second nature. One of the most empowering realizations we can have is that we have control over what we focus on in any given moment. It's so easy to get caught up in the constant noise of life, the problems, the challenges, the distractions, that it can feel like everything around us is controlling our attention. But the truth is, we have the power to direct our focus, to choose where we place our energy, and to decide how we perceive the world. For example, think about a tough situation. It's easy to get caught up in what's not working, to obsess over what went wrong, or to feel overwhelmed by the mountain of tasks ahead. But when we consciously decide to shift our focus to something positive, even if it's something small, we begin to see things differently. Our mindset shifts from one of scarcity and frustration to one of possibility and peace. The key is that focusing on what's going wrong doesn't help us solve the problem or bring us closer to a solution. In fact, it often amplifies the stress, anxiety, and frustration we feel. On the other hand, when we focus on what's going right, we start to see opportunities, we feel more capable, and we become more resilient in the face of adversity. The challenges may still be there, but they no longer dominate our emotional state. We regain control over how we respond rather than simply reacting to what life throws at us. Choosing where to direct our attention is a tool we all have at our disposal, but it takes practice. It's not always easy, especially when life feels overwhelming or when we're surrounded by negativity. But every time we make the decision to focus on the positive, we strengthen our ability to control our mindset. If you continue to redevelop your mindset, it's like exercising a muscle. Each time we intentionally focus on what's good in our lives, we build our mental strength to do it more often. This doesn't mean ignoring the difficult things in life or pretending everything is perfect. It simply means recognizing that we have a choice in how we approach them. If we focus on gratitude, on the things that bring us joy, on the moments that remind us of the good in our lives, we begin to reshape our reality. We realize that no matter the circumstances, we always have the ability to choose what we focus on. And by doing so, we ultimately control how we experience life, how we navigate challenges, and how we cultivate happiness. Gratitude plays a powerful role in building resilience, which is our ability to bounce back from life's challenges. Life is full of ups and downs, and while we can't control all the obstacles that come our way, we can control how we respond to them. When we actively practice gratitude, we equip ourselves with a mental tool that helps us cope more effectively during difficult times. When faced with adversity, our natural reaction might be to focus on the negative. It's easy to get bogged down by what's wrong, to feel helpless or defeated by setbacks, but gratitude works like a counterbalance to this negativity. Instead of being consumed by the weight of the situation, gratitude helps us zoom out and see a broader perspective. It reminds us that even in the most challenging moments, there are still things to be thankful for, no matter how small they seem. This shift in perspective doesn't deny the reality of our struggles, but it helps us hold them with more balance and clarity. For example, when we practice gratitude during tough times, we can acknowledge what we're going through, but also recognize the things we still have in our lives that provide us with strength, whether it's the support of loved ones, our health, or our ability to learn and grow from adversity. Gratitude keeps us grounded in the present, helping us see beyond the immediate challenges to the bigger picture, where we can always find something worth appreciating. As we build this habit, gratitude becomes a tool that allows us to remain calm and centered even when life is chaotic. Instead of feeling defeated or overwhelmed, we learn to focus on the positives that exist, no matter how small they may seem in the moment. The more we practice this, the more resilient we become, because we train our brains to find hope even when things are difficult. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain or hardship. It's about how we respond to it. Gratitude strengthens our emotional endurance because it helps us focus on what we can control, the way we see and interpret our experiences. Over time, this mindset shifts us from seeing setbacks as permanent or insurmountable to viewing them as temporary and manageable. By consistently choosing gratitude, we create a mental foundation that allows us to face adversity with greater strength, optimism, and the knowledge that we have the ability to overcome whatever comes our way. Gratitude is a simple but incredibly effective tool for reducing stress. In our fast-paced world, stress can feel like a constant companion, always lurking in the background of our daily lives. Between work, relationships, and everything else we juggle, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But the practice of gratitude provides us with a way to break this cycle of stress by shifting our focus and changing the way we engage with the challenges we face. When stress arises, it often brings with it a flood of negative thoughts. We might start worrying about things we can't control, obsessing over past mistakes, or imagining worst-case scenarios. This mindset not only amplifies our stress, but also keeps us stuck in a constant loop of anxiety and worry. However, when we actively practice gratitude, we consciously choose to break this loop by redirecting our attention to what's going well in our lives, no matter how small the positive moments may seem. By focusing on things we are grateful for, we begin to rewire our brains to look for the good, which in turn helps calm the overwhelming thoughts and emotions that come with stress. For example, instead of fixating on everything you have to do or everything that's going wrong, you can take a step back and appreciate the moments that are going right. The support of a friend, the joy of a good meal, or even the simple fact that you're breathing and alive. This shift in focus doesn't erase the stress, but it provides a mental break, a moment of relief. It helps you put things into perspective and reduces the mental load that comes with constantly worrying. Gratitude also has a physical effect on the body, helping to counteract the physiological responses to stress. When we feel stressed, our bodies go into fight or flight mode, releasing cortisol, the stress hormone. Chronic high levels of cortisol can be damaging to both our mental and physical health. But gratitude has been shown to help lower cortisol levels, promoting a state of calm and relaxation. When we choose gratitude, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps to reduce stress and restore balance to our bodies. Another way gratitude helps to reduce stress is by fostering a sense of connection and support. When we feel grateful for the people in our lives, it strengthens our relationships and builds a sense of community. Knowing that we are loved, supported, and cared for is a powerful antidote to stress. Gratitude allows us to acknowledge the positive role others play in our lives, making us feel more grounded and less isolated in the face of challenges. In essence, gratitude doesn't eliminate stress, but it helps us manage it more effectively. By practicing gratitude regularly, we train ourselves to focus on the positives and create a mental and physical environment that fosters calm, connection, and resilience in the face of life's inevitable stressors. Gratitude has a profound impact on our relationships, whether with friends, family, or colleagues. When we actively express gratitude, it not only improves how we feel, but also deepens the connections we have with others. Human beings are inherently social creatures, and the strength of our relationships plays a significant role in our overall happiness and well-being. Gratitude acts as a bridge between people, creating an atmosphere of appreciation and mutual respect that nurtures trust and understanding. One of the most powerful ways gratitude strengthens relationships is through acknowledgement. When we express gratitude to others, whether for something big or small, it lets them know that we notice and appreciate their efforts, presence, and support. This kind of acknowledgement fosters a sense of validation and belonging. It says, "I see you and I'm thankful for you." These simple expressions of appreciation help build a foundation of trust and kindness, making people feel valued and respected. It's easy to take those around us for granted, especially when life gets busy or we become caught up in our own challenges. But taking the time to show gratitude can completely transform the dynamics of a relationship, turning casual interactions into meaningful connections. Gratitude also plays a key role in improving communication. When we practice gratitude in our relationships, we begin to adopt the mindset of positivity and openness. We are more likely to express appreciation rather than criticism, to approach conversations with a spirit of goodwill rather than defensiveness. This shift not only makes interactions more pleasant, but also helps resolve conflicts more effectively. When you're grateful for someone, you're more likely to listen with empathy and be patient, which fosters healthier and more constructive communication. Furthermore, showing gratitude can help reduce feelings of resentment or negativity that sometimes arise in relationships. It's easy to get caught up in feelings of frustration when expectations aren't met or when misunderstandings occur. But when we choose to focus on what we are grateful for in the other person, whether it's their kindness, their loyalty, or their sense of humor, we begin to soften our perspective. Gratitude allows us to forgive more easily, to let go of grudges, and to focus on the positives rather than the negatives. This helps to create a sense of emotional safety and security in the relationship, which is essential for long-term connection. The benefits of gratitude also extend beyond our words. They can be seen in our actions. When we express gratitude, we are more likely to reciprocate kindness, offer support, and show up for others in ways that make a real difference. Gratitude motivates us to give back, creating a cycle of positive reinforcement where kindness is exchanged freely. This not only strengthens the bond between people, but also creates an environment where generosity and goodwill can thrive. Ultimately, gratitude has the power to transform relationships by fostering an atmosphere of appreciation, kindness, and mutual respect. Whether it's a small gesture or a heartfelt expression, gratitude builds connections that are stronger, more meaningful, and more resilient. By regularly practicing gratitude, we invite deeper, more positive relationships into our lives. Relationships that bring us joy, support, and fulfillment. In conclusion, the simple practice of gratitude is more than just a feel-good exercise. It's a powerful tool that can transform our mindset, our relationships, and our lives. By choosing to focus on what's good, by making gratitude a consistent habit, and by recognizing the impact it can have on our well-being, we unlock the potential for lasting happiness and resilience. The beauty of gratitude is that it's available to all of us right now. You don't need to wait for a big event or dramatic change to start practicing it. It's in the small, everyday moments, the ones we often overlook, that gratitude's true power shines. So I encourage you to make gratitude part of your daily routine. Start small, be consistent, and watch how it changes the way you see the world and the way the world responds to you. Thank you for being here today, and remember, happiness is not something we find in the future. It's something we can choose to create in the present, starting with one moment of gratitude at a time.